In this video, I'll demonstrate how to manage pull slip notifications in the ReShare system and how to print pull slips. So to set up pull slip notifications, you'll need to navigate to the Settings app within ReShare and then open Resource Sharing Settings. You'll see there's two pull slip related settings here. There are pull slip templates and pull slip notifications. Pull slip templates are the first step in the process, and these templates essentially allow you to configure the text of an email that will be sent to a staff user or users to alert them to the availability of new pull slips for printing. So I have a template already set up here, and I'm just going to go to the Actions menu and click Edit so we can take a look at this screen. So each template has a name and a description, and you may want to create multiple templates, particularly if they vary by time of year or level of staffing at your library. But for many, one template may be enough. And then in the email section, you can define the subject line and body of an email that will be sent. And we actually have in the ReShare documentation wiki, the text of this sample template is available for you. And this is really an easy way to get started with this since there's not a lot of information or variability in how these notices are delivered and the information they're conveying. But essentially what these notices will do is alert you to the number of new requests you have and the locations where those requests are being supplied from. And then it also provides a URL where you can view and print your slips. And all of those things, the number of requests, the locations, and the URL are all tokens. And if you click on these two curly brackets here, you'll see the ability to add these tokens. And basically what that will do is just add the token into the text of your email. But our default text already has all three tokens, so it's basically getting at all the information that's available here. You can also have tokens in the subject line of your email, so you can see here that we have the number of requests up there, and if you want, you can customize this text in any way that's useful to you. So I'll save and close this template. And then the next thing I need to do is configure my pull slip notifications. And so there are two parts to this. So at the top of the screen, there's a field for the pull slip template. And since I only have one, when I edit this, that's my only choice. But if you had multiple templates that you had created, you could select the one that's active. And right now, ReShare only supports one active pull slip template, so you'll have to just choose one of the ones you've created. And then below this, you can see we've got a number of pull slip notifications scheduled, and you can create as many of these as you want. I'm just going to open up one of my test schedules. And when I click on this, this is just opening to kind of a full screen view, and then I need to click on the little pencil to go into the editing view. So these notification schedules have a few different components. There's a name, and this is essentially just a human readable name that describes the purpose of this notification schedule. So you might want to put in there, something about the locations that it's covering. Again, it's possible for some libraries you may only have one of these and you don't need to be as descriptive. You can also set each of these as active or inactive, so you can turn them off temporarily and then come back in and reactivate them if you need to. The rest of these fields relate to how the notices are delivered, so you can choose the days of the week when each notice will be delivered, and this one is only delivered on Fridays, but you could choose all weekdays or whatever makes sense for you. You can choose the times for these emails to be delivered, and right now this is just has one time that's set for noon, but I can go ahead and add a time, and I can click on this little clock, and that's going to bring up a time editing widget. One thing about this right now, one caveat, is that these requests actually can only be sent on the hour. So even if I set this time as 4:26 p.m., this is just going to default to 4 p.m. So you don't have to change it to 00, but just know that it will only be sent on the hour. And that's something that we hope to be able to fix at some point, or at least make the UI a little bit more clear about what time you're selecting. You can also add one or more item locations. And so these are the locations that will be included in the count and in the URL in the pull slip email. This is just a test system, so we actually have a mix of locations from multiple libraries, but in reality, this will be any item locations that are associated with any requests assigned to you as a supplier will automatically be available in these drop-down menus for you to choose and configure notices for. Um, Unfortunately, that does mean that you won't be able to set an item location on a schedule until you've received at least one request for that item. And so that's something we'll need to look into improving as well. And you can add as many locations as you want. You do need to have at least one location, and if you want to just have one schedule for all of your locations, you will need to add each location individually. Then you can add email addresses for who will receive these notifications. So I just have my own email address in here right now. And if I wanted somebody else to get this as well, I could add another one. And for any of these, once you've added it, if you'd like to remove it, you can just click the little trash can and it will go away. And then you can go ahead and save this and then click the X, and that will bring you back to your full list. And the goal here is really just to allow you to create as many of these as you want. You might want to send these notifications at different times, depending on whether it's a weekend or a weekday, or for different locations or groups of locations. So there's a lot of ability to customize these to do what you need. And then the final piece, I'm actually just going to go into my own email account, and I have some notices here. So you can see I received a number of these, and that's because I haven't acted on them. So I'm continuing to get notices for them every time a scheduled notice comes up. And so I can see in this example that text from my template, I've got 3 pull slips available in one location, that's Marywood, and it's going to give me a URL here that I can click. And this is just going to bring me directly into the ReShare supply app. And this will be pre-filtered to requests that are awaiting pull slip printing and will be pre-filtered to any of the locations associated with that pull slip. And then the last thing I need to do is actually just print these slips, and I can go to the Actions menu and choose Print Pull Slips. And that will bring up the slips in a printable view. They print 2 per page. So you can print these and then cut them in half. And then these slips, they have the information here at the bottom of where this item is located. This is just test data, but this would typically be more detailed location and call number. And then these are suitable for using as a book band or keeping inside the book as a pull slip. And so once you are done printing, and you would just use this button to use your browser's print functionality to print, and you close this, you can see that I no longer have any slips that are awaiting pull slip printing. And if I clear my screen, or if I clear my search, I can go ahead and look at things that are in the searching state. And I've got a number of things here, but some of these are these Marywood requests that we were just looking at. So once you've printed a slip, then it moves into a searching state, and it will be ready for you to fill once you've retrieved the item from the shelf.